Yeah, let's talk Jamaica's three-day CARIFTA track and field trials, which ended on Sunday at GC Foster College in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. With little over a month away from the 2025 CARIFTA Games set for the Twin Island Republic from the 19th to the 21st of April, and also the fast approaching Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships set for March 25 to 29, we were treated to a glimpse of the budding talent and brewing rivalries we can look forward to in the coming weeks. Now, World Under-20 Sprint Relay gold medalist Gary Card of Wilmers stamped his class, clocking 10.21 seconds to win the boys Under-20 100 meters, well clear of Calabar High's Shaquane Gordon, who finished second with 10.36.
It's not the, or I should say, peak time yet of the season. So just to get my first actual 100 meters out, see where I am. It feels good to know that I'm building towards something. You have to always be calm. You can't think too much of it, or else it will get the better of you. So as long as you know what you've been training for, and you just remember what's happened in training, there's no reason to be nervous.
Indeed, of course, he is the reigning CARIFTA Under-20 200 champion from Grenada last year. In the women's equivalent, the 100, Lacovia High Sabrina Dockery staved off stern competition from Mushet High standout Shanoya Douglas to win in 11.30, with Douglas clocking 11.35. Now, Douglas, a 200-meter bronze medalist at last year's World Under-20 Championships and the reigning CARIFTA champion, returned on Sunday to capture the half-lap event, sprinting clear of Dockery to win in 23.12, Dockery's second 23.61. Tiana Marshall of Wilmers Girls was also impressive in the girls Under-20 100-meter hurdles, winning in 13.33 seconds, as St. Jago's Brianna Davidson placed second in 13.45. Here's the Wilmerian after the race.
Basically what I do is just that going throughout the season, I just watch the time that I run throughout the season and just remind myself that, listen, it's just technique and speed that I need to just go over each and every single hurdle, and all I have to do is just take it one hurdle at a time. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. And for the pressure part now, I just stay relax and focus on me. Don't focus on anybody. Just focus on my lane and the 10 hurdles in which I have to go over.
Yeah, Tiana Marshall there. Casey Stage Marquez White, a 2022 CARIFTA Under-17 200 silver medalist, won the one-lap event in 46.15, beating his schoolmate, 2024 CARIFTA Under-20 silver medalist Marcinia Rose, who produced 46.40. And then the biggest result came in the final race, as KC's Daniel Clark upset defending CARIFTA Under-20 110-meter hurdles champion Shaquane Gordon of Calabar, clocking a super fast 13.06 to Gordon's 13.38. Here is Clark following his victory.
I was very confident seeing that, my younger teammate did extremely well. So, I'm very confident seeing that my teammate can do so. I know that I could do it also. During the race, it's the first time getting a perfect start like that. And, I just stayed calm within the race. I try to keep my composure to not, really fumble anything. So it's a good race. It's a good race. It's actually my first CARIFTA, so I'm very excited, very proud of myself from where I'm coming from. Because if you watch the previous CARIFTA, I came last. So it's really a stepping stone. So I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, Daniel Clark of Kingston College should be very proud of himself. Mariah, I want to start with that event, but before I get into the details of it, I want to just say that based on what I saw at the CARIFTA trials over the last 3 days, one of the things about Jamaica's junior track and field is that every single meet, whether it is the Gibson Relays, whether it is a normal development meet, whether it is CARIFTA trials, for the fans, is really geared towards what will happen at the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships. And so when the fans watch these meets, they are looking at, okay, who is doing well for what school, and what will that mean for champs. And I think, based on what we saw at the weekend on the boys' side, if, for want of a better term, Kingston College won the CARIFTA trials on the boys' side.
And Ricardo, Daniel, he upset your school, Calabar. What did you have to say about that? That's the first thing I saw.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a little bit as well. But just to say quickly, then on the girls' side, I saw Edwin Allen doing well, but also having some unfortunate incidents, while Heidel are expected to be their toughest challengers for champs, really did not have a number of their top athletes in action. Edwin Allen also had a couple of their top athletes missing, so that will be quite interesting. But yes, to the 110-meter hurdles. Now, it is very interesting how these things work, Mariah, because a lot of individuals look at that 110-meter hurdles race and they consider it to be an upset. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I'm going to look at it in a particular way that will probably leave you thinking it is not such a big upset, if any at all an upset. The last time Daniel Clark of Kingston College lost to Shaquane Gordon of Calabar was at the CARIFTA trials last year, 2024. The race that Daniel referenced in his interview, saying he finished last in.
Yes.
I think he had some difficulties clearing the hurdles on that day. But subsequent to that, yeah, he finished second at champs last year.
Right.
Shaquane Gordon was third behind him. Then following that, at the National Junior Championships in 2024, Daniel Clark finished third. Shaquane Gordon was behind him in fourth.
Very close, but behind.
Behind. So the point is, it is not shocking that Daniel Clark would beat Shaquane Gordon based on what has happened the last two times they have met. Now, I understand why individuals call it an upset. The fact is, Shaquane is the reigning CARIFTA under-20 champion. He has a Commonwealth Youth gold medal from 2 years ago in Trinidad and Tobago. Before this race, he was the top performer this season, twice beating Daniel Beckford of Jamaica College, who is now aged out of junior competition but can still compete at champs. Beat him twice this season. So based on everything that has happened, Shaquane has also gotten faster in the 100 meters, finished second on Friday. He's made the CARIFTA team in that event. So based on all of that, I can understand why it is being looked at as an upset. But I'm not 100% sure that it should necessarily be called an upset based on their results in recent times. But just to quickly put that performance into context, because of all the outstanding performances, I felt that was the most outstanding. Now, the 110 hurdles at the under-20 level for boys is a tremendous event, or has been a tremendous event for Jamaica in the last 10 years. The Jamaican record is 12.99, held by Damian Thomas. At the time, it was the joint world record as well. This 13.06
is champs record, right?
Equals the champs record, is the equivalent of the champs record set by Wayne Pinnock in 2019, I think it was. But while it is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is the third fastest time ever run by a Jamaican junior, the joint third fastest. It is also the joint sixth fastest ever run by anybody in the world. That's how impressive that performance was. And so if you're Shaquane Gordon and you're beaten by that level of performance, you probably say to yourself, you know what, Mr. Clark, well done. I will see you at champs. Let's see if you'll be in that shape. Maybe I can get down to that 13.0 or maybe 12.9, break the Jamaican junior record, which is at 12.99 seconds. But yes, it was a stunning performance, and I think it shocked a lot of people. But the way he looked in qualifying said to me that something special was coming. And my goodness me, he proved it. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, and I think this competition, Ricardo, only means that when champs comes around, we're going to be seeing some top-class quality. Because even in the interviews, you hear them saying, well, you know, it's not peak time just yet. And I'm thinking to myself, if it's not peak time, then what happens at peak time?
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about track and field, right? Because programs are supposed to be designed for you to run your fastest or be at your best at a particular time of the season.
And now is not that time.
Yeah, for these athletes in high school, it is likely the boys and girls athletics championships for most of them.
Right.
And then chances are they will try to maintain that peak for the next 2.5, 3 weeks going into the CARIFTA games. And then, of course, they have the pen relays and so on. But it's a science. And listen, not everyone gets it right every time. You hope they get it right every time. So Daniel Clark could be so superb yesterday and then not be as good at champs for whatever reason. Maybe he just turns up not being in as good a shape. Maybe he makes a mistake. You just never know. And not just him specifically.
Yeah, it can apply to anyone of the athletes.
Yeah, just about any athlete. But yesterday's performance was stunning, and it sets up a fantastic rivalry in the event, because what it means going into champs now is that you have Shaquane Gordon, who a lot of people feel has the potential to go sub-13. There's Daniel Beckford from Jamaica College, who is the defending champion. And now, based on the performance yesterday, Daniel Clark of KC is stepping in and saying, guess what? Maybe I should be the favorite for this, and he will likely be the favorite. Another athlete I want to speak about quickly, Mariah, is Taj Marquez White of Kingston College. He won the Champs Dublin Class 2 a couple seasons ago, 200 and 400 meters. He didn't compete all of last year in 2024.
Okay. Why?
And because of injury, and he started his season extremely late in 2025. In fact, his first run was at the Gibson McCook Relays last weekend. For Kingston College, ran the heats and the final of the 4x4, actually anchored them to 4x4 victory on that day. But what is significant for me about Taj Marquez White that I want to speak about is that he does not, as far as I understand it, train at Kingston College. He's under the guidance of the great Glenn Mills at the Racers Track Club. Now, he's not the first athlete we have seen being coached by Glenn Mills while he's in high school at Kingston College. Zarnell Hughes was another one of those athletes. Of course, slightly different situation because Zarnell was coming from outside of Jamaica. But I thought this performance was extremely special. A personal best, 46.15 seconds for an athlete who has not raced in close to 2 years. I find it phenomenal, the level that he is at. And I think Glenn Mills deserves a lot of credit on this one, because I know in a lot of quarters there are a number of individuals who have been critical about the fact that he hasn't been competing. They haven't seen much of him, not too sure what has been going on. But I remember Glenn Mills speaking about this youngster some time ago and speaking to the fact that he is so fast, he is so talented, but his speed is so much that his body is not strong enough to maintain that. And so the likelihood of injuries would pop up. But
so maybe he was working on that, strengthening his body. And
I think that's exactly what he was working on.
Him.
Yeah, very much the case. And I think that's exactly what Glenn Mills was working on. Let's get you strong, and then we can get back to competition. And I think we have seen the initial stages in terms of the results, because I think there is still a lot more to come. So credit to Glenn and the Racers fraternity for the way they have handled this one, and now looks as if it's going to be to the tremendous benefit of Kingston College.
Yeah, a quick comment on the time based on the period that we're at.
Yeah, great time. I mean, 46.15, he is now the favorite for champs without a doubt. His schoolmate, Marcinio Rose, who won champs last year, was well behind him in second.
Yeah.
Marcinio has had his niggles, his injury concerns this season as well, but he seems to be back. And I know we're up on a break, but quickly, the girls, the sprints, Sabrina Dockery, the defending CARIFTA champion in the 100 meters, beating the super talented Shania Douglas, and then Shania Douglas returning in the 200 to beat Dockery. This is going to be an amazing rivalry for as many times as we can see it this season. Unfortunately, they are in different divisions at champs. Douglas of Mouchette is in Class 2, Dockery is in Class 1. So we won't see them against each other at champs, but we will see them against each other at the CARIFTA games, which should be the next time. And along with some of the best sprinters from around the Caribbean, it should make the girls' sprints very, very special in Port of Spain. But it's great to see. Douglas is such a talent. She's tall, she is strong, she has speed, and she looks as if, you know, the future is her. She has personality as well, which is something I really love about her. And then Sabrina Dockery is just a fantastic talent as well. Started at the 400, but she's come down to the 100, and she's fast, she has power, she's all business, and she gets the job done. Remember, she upset Terry Long at the CARIFTA Games last year, and I just can't wait to see what these youngsters will continue to produce. And by the way, Dominica had a big performance as well from Addison James. So many Caribbean athletes in Jamaica and actually took part at the trials. Addison James in the javelin throw, under 17 CARIFTA champion a couple years ago. He's stepping up to under 20 for the second year this year, and looks as if he will be landing Dominica a CARIFTA gold medal, unless someone from somewhere can come and deny him.
Well,
I hear
let's
the
see.
music.
Yeah, it means we have to go to break. But, you know, this is our topic. We could really go on and on. Ricardo seems very, very excited about the youngsters here in Jamaica. But producer, he gets the final call, and it's break time.